If you have been practicing yoga for a while, but you still don't feel particularly strong, this is a slightly uncomfortable truth, but it's something that's going to help you. It's not that you're not practicing it enough, and you're also not practicing the wrong kind of yoga, but you've probably learned to move in a way that avoids load. When we want to build strength, we have to move through some of these uncomfortable positions that maybe make us feel a bit heavy or make us feel a little bit shaky or we're efforting. And quite often we interpret that as a sign of weakness or there's something wrong with what we're doing. And especially if you're on the bendy side, our body has learned to move through these transitions in a way that avoids most of the load. I notice this especially when I sub classes. In a big studio, my regular students are there, but also a bunch of students that don't know me. We go through a general flow. My students are sweating. They're like, oh my God, I'm feeling this. And the new students are like, what? This is easy. Like, please challenge me a little bit more. And the difference between those two students is not that one is stronger and that my students are weaker. Could actually be the other way around. But my students over time have actually learned to move into the challenges that the poses can give us through slight differences in alignment, through slight differences in the way you load the joints. And these newer students, to my practice, are perhaps finding ways to compensate and let the body, the bones, the ligaments, the joints carry more of the load. And here's what I mean by that. I'm going to demo the age-old transition from down dog to plank, chaturanga, up dog to down dog, aka vinyasa, in two different ways. One that doesn't avoid the load, and two in a way that avoids the load. See if you can see the difference. First, I'm moving through the pathway that doesn't avoid the load. I'm going to move in a way that avoids the load. Let's see if I can do it. For example, I'm exaggerating, but I think you know what I mean. And the second way of doing it immediately doesn't feel good on my joints. Instead of actually owning the movement, I'm hanging in the passive structure of the joints. And by relying on the passive structures, we don't give the muscles the chance to actually build, to meet the demand, and to grow. So I thought today we're just going to troubleshoot one posture, being plank, which is quite central in a vinyasa practice, and it really is the first step to building good upper body core to lower body connection. And quite often we're already in avoidant position in plank. So by just tweaking this pose a little bit, you can already start to build strength in your usual practice. So you don't have to add on more hours, you don't have to change anything you're doing, but by just tweaking this a little bit, you get to recruit more muscle and get on the path of building a stronger body. So quite often we think of, oh, how can we make a pose lighter? And yes, that is our ultimate goal, but not by avoiding the work. So we're going to first make plank harder, which might seem counterintuitive, but that's the right way to grow strength. So spreading the fingers underneath the shoulders. And I'm going to start off with a plank that I often see, and then we're going to tweak it to make it harder. Good. So what I see is that we're not actually pushing into the ground, we're hanging. The lower back, I'm exaggerating, is letting go, and the butt is up higher. I'm also slightly back of my wrist, and it's like a weird down dog plank hybrid actually, and I'm mostly allowing the weight to be carried by my joints, and I could probably hold this for a fair amount of time. So let's see if we can troubleshoot it to make it a little bit harder. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push the earth away. So instead of relaxing through the shoulders, I'm actually hugging the front ribs towards the back ribs, and it's going to give me some buoyancy through the back. From there, I'm gonna set the heels just a little bit further away so I can create a long line from the crown of the head into the heels. So what I did was I was broadening through the lower back, pubic bone slightly in towards the belly button, and you can squeeze your butt even if you like. From there, I'm gonna shift the weight a little bit further forward so my fingertips are active. And then I'm already sweating and shaking in my plank. Whew. If that feels hard, which it suddenly can feel if you were not actually in the space to experience all the benefits of plank, then as always, you can come down onto your hands and knees. Baby plank is surprisingly hard. So this is a tabletop position. This is not actually a baby plank. Again, I'm doing the same thing. I'm hanging in my shoulders and in my lower back. So I'm going to bring my knees a little bit further back. I'm going to think about long line from the crown of the head into the knees. My butt is slightly squeezed. And again, instead of hanging my shoulders, I'm really pushing the earth away. This pushing the earth away and puffing up the upper back is one of the most foundational activations that we need in yoga for arm balances, etc. So 3 things you can take away into your practice today is to slow down the movement. When we slow down movement, proprioception has more time to catch up, to actually place ourselves into alignment that actually make us stronger. Number 2 is that you can scale it down in case it feels hard. No need to meet a crazy pose where you're not able to stay in it. Again, we need to stay to some degree for our tissues to adapt. And number 3, when you start shaking or you feel heavy or things feel weird, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just your body adapting. If you want the whole breakdown for Chaturanga, I have a free course called Chaturanga Stability Secrets. That's free for download. The link is in the description. And let me know if there are other poses you want me to break down in order to make them harder, so you can build strength as you're practicing instead of adding more hours or doing something crazy. And of course, I'd be grateful if you liked and subscribed, and I hope to see you soon.